A Swift Kick in the Ass, episode 149. Life is challenging and difficult. No one gets out alive. Time to suck it up, Buttercup. Get ready for a monster-sized boot, aimed to help you get traction on personal change and get living. I am John Curran, your host. Join me as I share my journey, exploring the forces that motivate us to change and help us get through whatever life throws at us. A swift kick in the ass. Life on your terms. Welcome to A Swift Kick in the Ass. This is your host, John Curran, and today's episode, exploring the dark nature of nice. Ooh, sounds interesting, doesn't it? It's going to be a fun episode. So, all my life, I think it's been basically all my life, I've been called nice. I'm a nice guy. I do nice things. I'm a nice person. Maybe you've heard the same thing. And I have come to learn that, or come to appreciate, the distinction between being nice and being kind. And I have to say that it's okay to be nice. And we all certainly are nice, and I'm going to get more into that. But I would rather be kind. And what I mean by that is a kind person isn't necessarily a nice person. What the hell am I talking about? I'll explain. Maybe you're a self-proclaimed nice person, and today I might be giving you a big swift kick in the ass. So here, I just want you to know there's something in it for you. And I'm being nice. Or am I being kind? Well, I'm not going to delay the inevitable. Being nice has selfish implications. I guess that's the way to say it. Being nice implies that there's something in it for us. When we do something nice, we may do it out of the goodness of our heart. That's definitely true. But that is more accurately maybe defined as being kind. When you're kind, there are no strings attached. When you're being nice, there are strings attached. Now, we've talked about, in the laws of attraction and the law of reciprocation, I believe it is. Whereas, when you give somebody something, kind of expected that you give something back. And people use that to their advantage. We've talked about that in the laws of power. Tommy and I did. So, being nice includes action and a behavior that really could pay off nicely for you. This might go against so much of what, we've been taught. We're always taught to be nice. Be nice, be nice, be nice. Your mother tells you this. Your wife tells you this. Your girlfriend, maybe your husband, their spouse, whoever it is, your friends. They do this whenever whatever we're doing falls outside of being polite, pleasant, or agreeable. But whoever's saying that, whoever's saying being nice is really saying they're giving you an instruction to take action. Hey, watch your behavior. Hey, don't say that. Oh my gosh, don't think that. What are you thinking? Now it's not my call to say if they're right or not. Nice, I guess, implies interaction with others as well as being kind. And let's, the whole focus of a swift kick in the ass really is to get people to think. And when we think about things, we have actually a better likeliness or possibility that things will get better, because we're going to make a focused change. We're going to think about our actions, our decisions, so forth. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Going back to this being nice, this is just, a lot of people don't really think about the dark side of being nice, and that is that there's a selfish aspect to it. There are strings attached to being nice, pretty much all the time, I think. I guess with some exceptions, but few exceptions. And also you could be nice and be manipulative, and people don't even know that you're being manipulative. But society tells us to be nice. Now, we can't read minds. We don't know what people are thinking and what their intent is. What's my intent with this? Am I being nice or am I being kind? I'm being nice because my intent is to get people to think and get to a point to where they're happy. Because I really think that happiness at an individual level is so important, and it's the building block for happiness in the world. I tell two friends, you tell two friends, she tells two friends, and he tells two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. It just, it grows exponentially. And I want this world to be a better place. That's why I keep doing this. So this could be, being nice could be just out of politeness. There could be some type of jealousy attached to being nice, like when we say make a nice statement about, oh, I love your new car, and talk about it. There could be some twinges of jealousy and some aspects of, personal satisfaction, maybe going, oh, nice, you got a divorce? Nice. You could be sarcastic. But I guess what I'm saying is be wary of nice. And remember that being nice is not the same as being kind. When we're kind, say for instance, like your friend is sick. And this actually happened with my group of friends. I thought it was so freaking cool. So my friend was home sick with the flu. And my other friend, who lived probably about 45 minutes away, got him like some groceries and got some, chicken soup, cans of chicken soup, or like, I don't know. It wasn't cans, I'm sure. It was, homemade chicken soup, and like brought him over food, put the food on the doormat, knocked on the door and ran off. He didn't want to get anywhere near him because the guy was sick, but he did that out of the kindness of his heart. No one told him to bring him food, but he knew his buddy was not feeling well, couldn't get out to get food, and did that, man. And that's what being kindness is. Kindness is not about you. Kindness is about, and support is, there's no me in support, and there's no me in kindness. But there is a me in nice. So that nice man with the candy who's in the van down by the river, what do you think I'm going to say? No nice man. Stay away from him. It's not a good thing. Now, there are nice people, and nice is not nice is not necessarily evil. It's not necessarily manipulative. I'm just saying that people can come across as being nice. You take it as being nice, and there's other things behind it. This is what I want you to think about. Now, I've been really trying to think about how you can apply this in your own life and thinking about it from the laws of power. Now, these are about 9 different ways to improve your niceness and your kindness. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into it and talk about the dark side of these points. So, the one way we can improve our niceness and kindness is to be courteous, polite, and helpful. Because isn't that what being nice is all about? It is about being polite, pleasant, and agreeable. So always use your manners, say please and thank you, be courteous. That's a way to be nice, and it's also a way to be kind. But just think about it. You could be courteous, you could be polite, you could be helpful, and you can have ulterior motives for doing that. Other people can too. You can trust people, and I hate to say not to trust people, but be wary, be protective, know your circle, know who you can trust, and protect yourself. 2, be patient, caring, observant, and considerate. Try to understand what others are going through and how you can help them. Now, that's really kind, isn't it? I mean, empathy. Understand, put yourself in someone else's shoes. Try to understand what they're going through, and then how you can help them. Now, this isn't about helping you. This is about helping them and what they need. And, I think about this a lot because, I felt this way with my dad. My dad was always in as long as it was good for him and it went along with his line of thinking, he would be nice. But he wasn't kind. He was not, I guess he had kind moments. Loved my dad. But he was more nice than kind, I guess I would say. He didn't do things without strings. He almost always had strings attached to what he did. Now, he did a lot for me. So I guess there created a lot of strings. And I love him for that. He made me who I am. Now, try to understand what people are going through. Put yourself in their shoes. Figure out how you can help them. That's a really good way to be nice and kind. It's also a good way to manipulate and apply this in a dark way. When people empathize and they can understand what you're going through, they can pinpoint the weaknesses, and they understand, and they can leverage those weaknesses to their advantage. When people are experiencing loss, particularly, they're vulnerable, and I'm not saying do this. Again, this is the dark side. I want you to be aware that people will and can do this, and you need to be aware so you can protect yourself. Now, I want you to be kind and be nice. I want you to be kind. Do things out of the goodness of your heart. No strings attached. I'll give another example of being nice. Back when I was single, I used to drive a bus. I worked for a hospital. I used to drive a bus, drive employees back and forth between a parking lot. And I was single, and I met a lot of women back then, and I met this one girl. God bless her. Loved her. But she brought me donuts. donuts and a coffee, I think. And she had picked up what kind of donuts I loved, or maybe she asked me or something like that. And she went out of her way and picked up these donuts. And she's being very nice. Well, she's being very nice because she wanted to go out with me. And she actually asked me out on a date. And that was very, really humbling, honestly. That gave me a new appreciation. When women ask you out, it takes a huge amount of confidence. You put yourself on the line when you do that. And I don't know. It was a fun time. But she was just being nice. It wasn't out of kindness. I mean, she wanted something. So, again, just something to think about. Treat people with respect, even those who don't particularly, those you don't particularly want to get to know, or you don't even like. Maybe don't judge or criticize people, but try to see the best in them. That's a way of being nice and kind. And again, the dark side of that is work within the parameters of that respect. You can say things that go right over people's heads if you want to. And it doesn't have to have bad intent. It can just be a snide comment, in dealing with other people. Maybe you do it and you don't even think about it. Again, this is kind of an exercise to look within and better understand yourself and the actions that you take, and applying them to being nice or being kind, with strings or without. Offer help and assistance when somebody needs it. Don't expect anything in return, but be generous and sincere. Take away the being generous and sincere, or just being pretending to be generous and sincere, not expecting anything in return, expecting things in return. These are ways to apply the dark art of being nice and kind and using that to your advantage. I think we all do this. Let's just, kick ourselves in the ass. It's okay. It's a dog eat dog world out there. It is competitive. And there are circles of family and friends that you can trust and that you should trust, and that we all need to stick together and protect ourselves from others in this world. I mean, there's good and bad in this world, and what's good for one is bad for another. So, in the end, we're all equal, but, it's competitive. People are not so kind. People are not so nice. And I want you to be aware. And again, look at this as an exercise, so that when the time arises and you need this, you've thought about it and you're a little bit better prepared. Look for ways you can promote peace. Avoid conflicts and arguments, and try to resolve them peacefully if they arise. Now, I became a black belt this past year, and that means I've learned the basics, and now I'm really starting to master everything more and apply it in my own form and really apply it in my own way. That this is a process, and I do not look to resolve conflict or argument through violence or fight. I don't advocate that, but I will protect myself, and I want to be able to stand my ground no matter what, where I am, what I'm doing, and I want to protect myself and others. It's important to me. To me, that helps me promote peace, peace through strength. So I'll avoid the fight, but sometimes you have no choice. So I guess that's the dark side of that, promoting peace. Recognizing that sometimes you have to go to war. It's inevitable. Again, not a proponent of war. Hate war and government, particularly going to war, and including all of our men and women soldiers who are on the front line and sacrificing their lives for our benefit. I so much respect that, but I hate it at the same time. Just listen. Sometimes people need to just listen to them without interrupting, without giving advice. God, I know I am really guilty of this. I need to do this more. That is being kind. That is being nice. I mean, you know what I mean. Be attentive and supportive. Show that you care. But just give them a voice and really listen to what they're saying. I think I often apply, and I'm like always trying to help people. And I've tried to take a step back from that and just really stay in the moment and listen to what they're saying and really understand. Try to empathize and put myself in their shoes. And, I do have a plaque that sits up next to my desk. I'm looking at it right now. It's from my grandfather. It's a little politically incorrect, but so be it. It's an Indian prayer, and it's like Native Indian, and it says, "Grant that I may not criticize my neighbor until I have walked a mile in his moccasins." And, again, we can never really walk in someone else's shoes. We'll never fully understand what someone else is going through. But that's what this episode is not about. Offer a hug or embrace. Physical touch can convey warmth and affection, reduce stress and loneliness. Even if you really don't mean it. Sometimes people just need a good hug. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you don't even want to give them a hug. Maybe you're not a touchy-feely person. I'm not. But I recognize that my wife is, and I know that she needs that. And it's not out of just kindness. Again, sometimes I want to get laid. And that's when I'm being nice. And I give her that hug. See where I'm getting at? The strings attached to being nice, or just out of pure kindness. Like she's had a rough day, and she needs a good hug, and just a reminder to say, hey, you know what? It's going to be okay. Last one. This is probably the most important one. Be kind to yourself. Be nice to your body. Take care of yourself physically and mentally. Eat well. Eat, sleep, exercise, relax. Acknowledge your feelings and accept them. And don't be harsh or negative with yourself, but be compassionate and forgiving. No strings attached. That's being kind to yourself. Acknowledging, and saying, hey, surrendering to it. Like, there are aspects about myself I don't necessarily like, but I recognize that I can't change them, and I need to better just face them and better understand them and work with them in my life. For myself, be kind to myself. Say, hey, you know what? I'm human. I'm going to mess up sometimes. It's okay. Be yourself. Take care of your body. God, health is wealth. I had a couple episodes back, I told you about kicking sugar, reducing the amount of sugar. And I'm still doing that. And God, I feel so much better. We can talk about, again, niceness and kindness. And I'm being nice to my body. There's a purpose in that niceness. There's purpose for me doing these nice things for my body. I'm being nice by eating some of this crap. All the organic, fiber, and I'm eating this like It's a superfood, actually, and I've actually really grown to love it. But when I first had it, I thought, hell, I'm eating frickin' bird seed. But my body loves it, and it's nice and good for my body. And it pays off because I'm telling you, the trip, starts in your mouth and it ends down below. And I'm telling you, my intestines love my new diet, and it's like butter. It's just smooth. I love it. I'm not going to get any more detailed than that. I think so many times we're harsh and negative with ourselves, and we're also harsh and negative with others. We have an old dog named Phineas. He's 14 years old. He's part border collie and part retriever, and he's a big, fluffy muppet. He's so cute, and he's such a great dog. And he's getting up there, and he's hard of hearing, almost has no hearing left, or selective hearing. That's what he has. And his hips are giving out. I have to help him get up. And, it's tough on him. He has arthritis in his front paws. Phineas is... He's tough. Now, and I'm even losing track of why I'm coming back on target here. So Phineas is an old man, and I love him dearly, but he's getting on these barking jags, and I try. He doesn't generally bark unless he needs something, but it's really hard to figure out sometimes what he needs, and I think that, like our pets and like our, the animals, the pets that we love, the people in our life too, they might be barking. They might be barking at us and trying to tell us something, and it's just not sinking in because we're not able to really empathize with them, or not maybe even trying sometimes. We're just saying, damn, they're grumpy. I'm just going to avoid them. But being compassionate, being forgiving, and just relaxing, basically just saying, hey, you know what, let it go. If they want to be harsh and grumpy, it's really up to them. That shouldn't make you grumpy towards them. And just, sometimes ask them, what's going on? You're a little grumpy. Be that, just bring up that elephant in the room. I need to do that a lot more, too. So this is kind of a motivational speech, but it's also for you, but it's also one for me, too. So I am not being altogether kind in this subject. I'm being nice to others, and I'm also being nice to myself in this. So I'm going to wrap this up. This is a Swift Kick in the Ass. This is John Curran, your host. And again, want to keep hearing your comments. If you can leave comments on the sites where you're getting the podcast, that's always helpful. I try to go out there and find these. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I can't. You can always reach me at john@aswiftkickintheass.com. So until then, I hope I've given you some things to think about, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace. This marks the end of another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass, placing it directly in the can. As much as I like to talk, even I have my limits. It's time to go. Catch me on the next show. For better or worse, whether you like us or not, please leave comments wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Visit our home on the interweb. I think you can leave me a voicemail there. You can also email me at john@aswiftkickintheass.com. It's been my extreme pleasure. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you got your ass moving. Until then, until the next time, I'm out of here. Peace.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of education, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our online bachelor's, master's, and doctoral education degree programs allow you to balance online coursework with observational and hands-on experience in the field. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.